Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to have everyone stand, please. We're going to start with the opening with our Pledge of Allegiance. Please salute as appropriate. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two. Please stand again. We're going to do our scout oath and loss. Scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Super.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And we're going to welcome Greg and start off with our council updates. Greg.
All right.
Audio is a little quiet.
Is that all?
Sorry, Elia. I'll be there in a second. All right, start off by apologizing, folks that are joining late. Our Zoom link seemed to have an error, so we updated it and trying to get the message out to everybody. So happy 113th birthday to the Boy Scouts of America in just 2 days from today. And in our update here, one of the first things we have is information from Art Lobdell.
Good evening, Western Massachusetts Council Scouters. Thank you for all participating tonight in the roundtable for the month of February. Certainly want to recognize the Scout Anniversary Week, which is taking place right now. February 8th is Scouting Anniversary. Certainly, hopefully some of you will be celebrating that with some special events, whether it is Scout Sunday, Scout Sabbath, Scout du Mois, or any of the other celebrations that happen this time of year to recognize the anniversary of the Scouting program. We'll actually be having a cake at the Scout office, doing a little PSA with our new Exploring Broadcast Communications post. So that'll be a little event that is happening on Wednesday. They'll be cutting a cake to celebrate the celebration of Scouting. Another celebration, a congratulations celebration for Nick Thornton as he is moving on from Western Massachusetts Council to become the Director of Field Service out in Milwaukee. So we thank Nick for his service for the past several years and are currently in process of identifying a successor for Nick. District operations news. The biggest thing to point out under district operations is that although we have set up a new model for having district meetings, we haven't fully implemented that. So that will be happening this month. That starting this month, the district committees will all be meeting together for all 3 districts and combined with the council coordinated meeting. So that meeting will take place on the last Monday of each month. It'll be happening in a Zoom format. There'll be breakouts for all of the various functions that the council has, and then there'll be breakouts for each of the geographic areas known as districts. The districts will focus on 3 things. They'll focus on recruiting, development, and recognition of volunteers. It'll work with youth advancement. It'll work on implementing the programs of revenue development and also membership growth. So new district operations model here at Western Massachusetts Council being fully implemented. In membership, number of things to report out. We have Project 5 and Beyond, which is going on. That's to recognize that we here in Western Massachusetts Council have a large number of units that have less than 5 youth in them. And so for the year and beyond, we're looking to specifically focus on those units to bring up their numbers. Certainly, we want to see all units grow and have as many as they can, but we'll be looking to have our smallest units grow. We need some help with that. We need some additional folks to join in with the Commissioners Corps, as well as perhaps to be shepherds or big buddy units. So if you have interest in that, please contact me. We have our new membership hub is up and operating for helping everyone be able to order recruiting resources, whether it's printed flyers or posters or use of our capital pieces such as inflatable archery, the story walk, fishing game, all of those things. So check out the new membership hub for Western Massachusetts Council to be able to put in your orders for those. Winter is a great time to do recruiting for new scouts. Many scouts may have finished up some fall sports obligations and other obligations. So it's time to, again, put out invitations to have scouts come and join our programs. We also have a new flyer in our library for Scouts BSA. The one we had were just depleted and have a new design available to be able to print those for you. It's also a good time, now that we've finished the rechartering cycle, that there are some scouts and families that could be re-invited into the scouting program, whether it's being invited to join the same program again, or perhaps the one down the street. Again, contact me for any assistance with those things. In exploring, I know you've heard an awful lot about exploring in the past year or so. We have a couple of new projects that are starting. I mentioned in my opening remarks, we have broadcast exploring, which is going to eventually have at least a monthly podcast, as well as doing some remote spots for helping promote some of our other events. So that's a great new exploring program that we just started up. Next one is a STEM and sciences group that is just coming out of the box, and we'll have more next time on that, though do express any interest if you have interest in that. Another one we have is we're actually looking to develop a Explorer post around aquatics and lifeguarding to be able to not only help fill needs at camp, but also to develop young people who have interest in those things for the whole area of Western Mass. In fundraising, Friends of Scouting is now in full swing. However, we do need some more people to be presenters for that program. Many of the presentations tend to cluster on the same days. We also have a very large geography, so sometimes it's hard to get coverage for some of those presentations. Also like to take the opportunity to thank all of those units that have committed to Friends of Scouting. The number is growing day by day, and we appreciate that. The Pancake and Syrup fundraiser is now underway. That officially started on February 1st. If you need any assistance, please contact Lindsay or I, and we'll be happy to get you involved in the Pancake and Syrup fundraiser. Some news to look forward to for the next popcorn season. Camp Masters Popcorn has announced that they now have a plan to be able to have units be able to access credit cards to be able to sell the popcorn. So that should be a big boost to those doing show and sell sales to be able to accept credit cards on the spot while you're out in front of a store or farm market, wherever it is that you might be. And folks may not have the cash, they can make the transaction happen with credit cards. In general council news, certainly you have all seen that there is now a membership service fee. There have been one communication so far has been sent out to Unit Key 3s. There's another one that is on the way. It's also been in the Compass newsletter. Coming up this week, both on Wednesday and Thursday, there are fireside chats to be able to speak with the executive board about the details of those programs. Just to help demystify, there is a difference between the council membership service fee and the All In for Scouting program. Though they may still look at some of the same criteria and some of the same levels, there are differences between those. One is about a minimum and one is about providing benefits based on overall contributions and overall improvements and status of your local council, your local scouting unit programs. So even though they are related, they are two different programs. So make sure that we don't confuse the council membership service fee and the All In for Scouting benefits and program. Last thing to mention is that our Scout Shop will be open for the month of March. On March the 4th, we've already had our open day for February. Thank you and have a good evening. Good evening, Western Massachusetts Council.
All right, how do I get off of Art? There we go. Thank you, Art. This also just recapping the fireside chats later this week. Again, Wednesday is in person at the service center upstairs in the Epicenter classroom. There is a map on the calendar page and a Zoom option, and we'll double check those Zoom links beforehand. And then Thursday night Zoom only, and we will record those and we'll get them up to our YouTube channel as soon as possible for people to be able to review after the fact. Speaking of our calendar and finding things, folks have asked, how do we get there? So if you're not familiar, on our main page, you can see I've circled the calendar feature. You click on that. It should take you to our master calendar, but it also gives you options for specific filtered calendars. From there, you'll come up to the current month, and you can look through for activities that you're interested in and click on it. For example, Wednesday's fireside chat, and it'll come up with date and time and information and link information. Or sometimes there'll be further contacts, point of contacts, and file downloads available there. Our Klondike Derby this last weekend has been postponed, but is being rescheduled for Saturday, March 11th, back at Moses Scout Reservation. And I think Jeff Holmes is on. Jeff, anything you want to add regarding this rescheduling?
So right now I've sent a message out to all the units that had registered previously so that they can go and confirm that they can make the new date. I've heard from 5 of the 22 units so far, but the majority of those are saying yes, they'll make the new date. So still hoping that we'll have a fun event and just hopefully a little bit warmer weather than we had this last weekend.
Agreed. Thank you, Jeff. And for units that aren't able to come because of scheduling conflict, we'll work with everybody on getting refunds for those events as soon as we have things tied down just a little bit more specifics. WOA registration is open for February and March, and again, it's nice and cold now. Plenty of ice. Hopefully that'll stay for this upcoming event at the beginning of school vacation. Summer camp. The change from last month is there is a Moses Camp Zoom kickoff scheduled for Sunday, February 26th at 7 p.m. Joshua Hall and myself will be there to give a little overview and some reminders as we come into summer camp registration season. That will be recorded as well and available on our YouTube channel afterwards. NYLT registration will be opening very soon. Eric Otteson is that course director. It's the last week of June. And our summer camp week, some are filling up, but there are spots there. So if you know that you have a unit and you want to make sure you have a spot for the whole unit, head on in. At this point, it does require there's $100 deposit for your unit to just let us know you're coming, but $100 per scout as well to reserve their spot. Week 5 will be Scouts BSA only, and there's some specialty weeks being planned for scouts working on their Eagle Scout rank, as well as some aquatics, and we'll be offering most of the regular programming that we do have weeks 1 through 4 as well, with the exception right now of ATV will not be offered week 5. Summer camp staff are still looking for some help to come on in. You can come and stay with us for the summer. If you're only available for the days, we have some program needs there as well, specifically our Cub Scout program. And auxiliary staff might be folks that would come in, teach 1 or 2 merit badges when they're available. So the way our schedule works now, that the merit badge occurs on 1 day, or if it needs more time, 2 days. So we have a couple people come up, for example, just on Wednesday and offer a merit badge for the 3 hours and then scoot on out. So reach out to Joshua and I if you want some more information about that, and applications are on our website. Cub Scout Pinewood Derbies, everything's scheduled now. We're excited. So Appalachian Trail will be March 25th, a Saturday, and that'll be at Pittsfield at the Masonic Lodge, hosted by PAC 42 with Jason McCausland. The next day is General Knox at the Moose Family Center, and that's being hosted by the 1849 family. And Metacomet Derby is Saturday, April 15th. The hosts are PACs 209 and 210, and we have a couple possible locations, so we're locking them in now, but it'll be in that Northampton, West Hampton, East Hampton general area. And Gary Rome Hyundai is proud to sponsor our Council Derby again this year. He was the Time Car Dealer of the Year, and so look for that information. To registration for all the events is already online, and Weeblos Woods just looking forward the first weekend of June. Speaking of Pinewood Derbies, there are no rule changes this year. So if you had already looked at the 2022 rules, they're the same. We did make some, grammatical changes and move some of the arrangements for virtual situations, or folks that wouldn't be there and have a waiver to let other people make repairs to a different section, but we made no content changes otherwise. And you can see there on the screen, if your unit did not have a race or won't have a race, all of your cars can register for the district race, and we'll be able to give you the results at the end just for your unit. And also for last year, every single race has an open class, which is great for those 5th grade AOLs that maybe they haven't crossed over, or they did cross over. Scouts BSA, Sea Scouts, parents, community members want to race. They just have to follow the same rules, and they're welcome to do that. And the top 3 cars from each derby in every rank and that open class will proceed to our council derby at Gary Rome. Our Scouts BSA spring camporee. Is anybody here from the planning team? Hunter, Joshua? All right, hearing none. I know they're still working out the final details for their location. Also, the more information to come, but the 50th Massachusetts American Legion camporee is making a change this year. Usually have to be sponsored by one of the American Legions, but they're making some other arrangements this year. They would love to have 50 troops at this event, and unfortunately I don't have the dates right here in front of me. Is anybody, Kathy or Abby, online, or Art?
I am here. I believe it's June 16th to the 18th. It's Father's Day weekend.
Thank you. And do you want to add anything more right now, Abby?
I don't know if I have much more right now, but it is a really fantastic event. We're getting more information out soon, but I can post a link in the chat if you want to a bunch of the different sheets that we have.
That sounds
Do we
great.
know the location, Abby?
Yep, it's at Camp Collier in Gardner, Mass.
Thank you.
Of course.
Excellent. And then we've been talking about Mass Jam, so just a reminder that Columbus Day weekend out on the Cape Cod. Order the Arrow has their fellowship weekend this weekend. It's not too late to register, but do it soon. They have a bowling event planned in March, some other fellowships and the spring ordeal there for your planning purposes. Really excited that we are hosting the section conclave as well up at Moses in June, and they're working on not only some opportunities for our airmen, but also a program for our Cub Scouts during part of the day as well. So look for more information there. Training, Dave O'Leary, do you have any more information on Leave No Trace trainer course? If you made it on.
Yes, I was able to join. And I guess all I'll say is if people are interested in the course, please let me know. It's open to all registered adults in any program and also youth members age 14 and older.
I did the course probably 6 years ago, and it was a great experience. For our Scouts BSA leaders or people that are interested in learning more about the IOLS training, that registration is also open the end of April. Scott Gagner is the course director this year. And for our Cub Scouts, our Baloo training, the first weekend of May is open as well. And if you don't have somebody from your pack Baloo trained, really important to do so. You must have somebody on every camp out that has the Baloo training with you. It is a requirement with the BSA. And it's a fun weekend. National Jamboree, we have just a few spots for some girls. If there's anybody else interested in joining us, our boy troop is full, but we can connect folks with some neighboring councils to be able to participate as well. And if you're in the Westfield area tomorrow night, come on out to Westwood Restaurant, and 15% of your meal can be donated to support the Scouts. There's about 47 of them now, adults and youth, headed on down to the National Jamboree. And if you like patches, I don't have prices or ordering information yet, but there will be a pre-order for our Jamboree patches with the Barnes Air National Guard Base theme. So look for that information soon. Proceeds from that will help those youth pay for that great trip as well. And I think they came out really great. Talked before, David, you can reach out to David O'Leary as well if you're interested in Northern Tier, some canoeing this August. Dave, anything else to add there?
No, again, yeah, like you said, just contact me if you're interested. Thanks.
You're welcome. And Art already talked about the coordinated council committee meetings, and our next work day is March 4th. We're hoping it'll be a little warmer than this past weekend. And I was asked to give a special thank you to Ken White, our Vice President of Marketing. He came up with a really great new FOS video. I used it last night at an event, and we'll get it up on, I think it is on our webpage for FOS, and we'll get it on YouTube very soon. And then at the end of tonight, after the closing is done, I'll play that video for anybody that wants to watch it. All right, Ellie, thank you for giving me that time.
Thank you, Greg. I'm going to introduce Jay Latore and have him come into the hot seat, and he's going to talk a little bit about some FOS.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Ellie, thanks everyone for being here tonight. My name's Shayla Tori. Just in case there's someone on the call that doesn't know me, I am a volunteer scouter here in Springfield, and I'm also a member of our council's executive board, and I am the family chair. So as both Art and Greg alluded to, Friends of Scouting is in full swing across our council. First thing I'll note is just to reiterate what Art mentioned, which is we're always looking for FOS presenters to support our efforts to raise funds for our council. The FOS program represents more than 15% of the total revenue that the council seeks to raise each year to run our programs. And it's a really great opportunity for scouters to not only work with their units, but also with other units in their areas. It's not, it can be as big or small a commitment for you as you'd like. We'd love to have graphical diversification of our, and it could be easy. A couple of volunteers who feel comfortable with public speaking for 5 to 7 minutes, hosting a presentation in their town and one other unit in their community. It can be as well as that. We're getting closer to my goal of 20 presenters, but we'd love to have more. As I think Greg alluded to, if you go to wmascouting.org/FOS for Friends of Scouting, you can sign up for a presentation, and we really encourage units, if you have not signed up for a presentation as of yet, to at least get something on the calendar for us. If you're not sure when your Court of Honor is going to be in April, or you don't know the exact date of your end of Scouting Year celebration in June, just submit what you can now, so that we know that you would like to have a program, a presentation, and the approximate month, and we can do the follow-up as it gets a little bit closer to get a formal date on the schedule. For those that are representing multiple units, your help coordinating efforts for PAC, and we're happy to do for all of the units. If you can get everyone in one space, we're more than happy to do that. We love big crowds. I think they can be a great way to create enthusiasm. And in addition, myself and Nick for this week, and Art in the week to come, and then whomever next development director, we're always happy and ready to answer your question about Friends of Scouting. There's always a lot of questions about, how does this money different than the money we give to national, or the money that we give to the unit dues? There's often, questions about, what to do if, I have some family feel hesitant about bringing in FOS because they might feel a little uncomfortable about having a volunteer make an ask for money, and all sorts of other things. Our goal, as you probably heard Gary Savignano mention before, is to get us back to above 50% participation across the council. We're really looking forward to doing that this year. We're off to a great start in February. I think we're close to a dozen presentations. And if you want a presentation in February, there's still time to sign up, and we'll work to get someone out to you as quickly as possible. So again, we're excited every unit participate in Friends of Scouting. We have a couple of new presenters join us in our ranks. It's a great way to perform a really meaningful level of service for the council. And it's a chance for you to tell your story about why it's important to give scouting. I used to always like to tell a story in some of my earlier presentations. You spend money on home insurance to protect your home. You spend money on car insurance to protect your car. FOS, create community insurance. You're creating a new generation council, and you're creating great programs for our kids. Not only the programs that we have, troops and packs and crews, exploring posts and venture organizations that we still want to create. And with that, I'll hand it back to Ellie. Thank you so much, all.
Actually, we're going to pass it off to Ken White.
All right. Okay. I'm going to share my screen here. Just give me 1 minute. All right. So, hello, everyone. Those who do not know me, it's Ken White. I am the Vice President of Marketing Communications for the Council. Today, I'm going to be showing you a new resource that we have for all of you to hopefully really help your unit marketing initiatives. So what we have started is what's called the Marketing Resource Hub. And this is found on the council site /marketing or in the membership tools section under Hub. And it's a collection of various different resources. Why is it? There we go. Sorry, there's a delay on both screens here. So let me walk you through the key stuff that's here to help. So under request for materials, we have all of the information about our story walk and a way for you to request our key assets as well as custom flyers. So at the office, we have the ability of printing flyers for your unit. We have several different templates available. I'll let you on your own view the different templates that we have to offer. And it's meant to be easy. So you tell us what we will do. And these templates have been, they're brand new. So if you've seen what we've done before, these are new. And if you have suggestions on how we can change them and make them better, we are more than happy and willing to listen and help do that. And also down here, we have a calendar of when the resources that we only have a limited number of when they're going to be signed out. So just a little example on there. So we also have public relations. So we have press release templates and media kit. So constantly this list, and if you have of other things that should be in here, please also let me know. And then we also have our own templates. So these are resources that you can create yourself and print on your own. If you're not quite seeing what you like with printed resources, there are options to make your own. And we are also coming up with some new ones constantly for our new aviation posts and our new exploring posts and other programs as well. And then there's social media resources for advertisements. If you put out a campaign with your unit, also happy to assist with that as well. So feel free to reach out to us, and if you have an upcoming event for your unit, because we can promote it on our own page as well. And then finally, there's some just quick links and a media hub for, I'll bring you there quickly. That's the Western Massachusetts Media Center up here. And we have a collection of images that you can use for social stuff from camp, camporees, district events, all, you name it. It won't look quite like this. This is the admin view, but it's very similar. So we have just a collection of resources for you, and we're constantly growing, evolving it, and we're open to feedback, try to make it better. So.
One thing I'd like to mention is that Ken will be doing a larger presentation on this at the May Roundtable. So if you have questions or ideas, please forward them to either Greg, myself, or Ken, so that we can funnel everything to Ken in time for the May Roundtable. Thanks.
And if you need marketing unit support, please reach out to me. My email is on the council website. I can also chat here as well. Thank you.
Okay. And here's Nick Thornton. And he's going to give us a rundown. Last year he did a rundown on the basics of some fundraising and things, and he's going to give us some more of that before he.
So fundraising should be simple and fun, and it should be for your unit. There are lots of different options you can do. There is a unit fund earning form that can be online that needs to be approved through the council that we're following the fundraising lines that are laid out by us by the National DS program. As you saw, the Jamboree is doing a meal percentage at Wood. Those are great for unit fundraisers or specific programs that you can fund. We actually have, the council fundraisers, which are the syrup, and then we also do the popcorn in the fall. There are lots of different things that you can do. we just can't, games of chance, and you know, there has to be things that, there's specific programs that as long as we follow the guidelines, you can pretty much, do fundraising as long as you stay away from some of the gambling, games of chance, things like that. Keeping kids of obviously, and kids should not, youth, I should say, should not be actually making some direct sales asking for money. Unless they're getting something worth the value back. So those are really key aspects to you. There's been a lot of different things that have happened in the past that kids have done: spaghetti suppers, car wash, bake sales. There's been all sorts of things: wreaths, Christmas trees. There's been service sales that people sell the charge, and they'll go out there and they'll clean neighborhoods and do lawns and things like that. And clean up, and there's lots of those different types of things, as long as your adult supervision and making sure that the youth are aware of the guidelines that are being followed. Those are all acceptable things as well. There are specific programs there, especially with chain restaurants, that you can participate in as well. And so there are a lot of different opportunities to make sure your youth fund their, but we don't want money to ever be an option or an obstacle for scouts. And so we want to provide them as many opportunities as they can pay their own way. And so we want to make sure that every unit is providing opportunities for them to fund their adventure. And this is done either through a council program, that can be done through a unit program. And if unit doesn't want to do anything like that, the youth can seek out some fundraising on their own. They can place if their unit says they don't want to sell popcorn or they don't want pancakes, but the individual does, there's an option to sign up to do that as an individual adult. But we would be more beneficial if the unit did that, because it would be able to help more youth fund their adventure. So those are what I have on that. Some other development stuff that's coming up. The Solar Server event is March 8th. The 4th, working on a lineup of celebrity servers, but that's usually been a great event. And the Distinguished Citizen honoring Jeffrey Sattler this year with Sheriff Nick Kochi is going to be June 29th. So those are in the works right now, and everything should be online by the end of the week. Have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Our topic for this evening is about the youth moving from Cub Scouting, We Below's Arrows Light into Scouts BSA. From Scout perspective, all of the Cub Scout packs should be linking with and visiting with a unit, a troop, as that arrow of light. And as they get closer, they should be buddying with people and getting to know units. Once you get to the crossover, there are some things that I learned a long time ago from some mentors I scouting that really will make the transition much more smoothly for you. One of is sort of like a practice Scoutmaster conference or a meet and greet of the Scoutmaster with the parents and the youth, so that you'll get to know each other. You get to know likes, dislikes, what are some things that set people off, if there are any learning disabilities, health disabilities, things like that, some accommodations that may need to be made. And learn those up front so that it's a huge prize and thing for the youth to be able to know, and the parents know, what are some of the expectations from the unit of the families and the youth. And that brings me to go to here. And the next slide is the Troop Resource Survey. This is one of the things that you can use when a unit is welcoming new people, this will give you all of the information about the family, and it'll give you some insight into what the family's interests are too. Oh, wonderful. We just received a little notice that said our internet connection is stable. So if we drop off,
Continue the conversation.
continue your conversations. But looking at what are some activities that your family likes to do, out indoor, web managed, drawing, art, things like that. Scouting skills that you may have. And then there's the list of all of merit badges that someone in a joining family may be interested in as a counselor and helping with those kinds of things. Especially who have disabilities, you want to hop onto that pretty quickly so that there's a pretty seamless transition. One warning, there are going to be helicopter parents, there are bulldozer parents coming into your units. And personal experience, we had a parent who these were doing their tenderfoot second class requirements. Cooking is one of them, and they had to build their menu, they had to go do the shopping, they had to prep their food, and the mom helped them out. Because while they were in school, she went and did all the shopping and she cooked all, and then was extremely upset that her son didn't earn any of the advancement because it had all been done for him. So it's totally, if they're going to become involved in something, but not be a helicopter parent. And it's tough more than it is dads to step back and say, okay, it's time for them to grow for themselves. All right, turn it over to me because they're going to be talking more about that transition piece into scouting.
Why you speak? No, it's okay. So mention on the scouting program side, we do a transition from Scouts BSA to venturing, or maybe a new scout joins into a venturing crew or an exploring post. And my experience is it's best for the youth to be the welcoming person and explaining what happened the unit to the new youth. It comes off when a scoutmaster is there or a is explaining what happens, but it comes off even much better when the youth are explaining like the rule, how to be participating. And I just recommend that, if you're going to have an older scout unit, or you're going to be even a Scouts BSA, make sure the youth are involved with welcoming people in and what the rules of the unit might be and what the expectations are. I think those are really things to know. And I do encourage you to, like, if you have questions about that, I know the Venturing Leaders Guide does talk about how to run that at parents' night or opening night, and there are great resources out there to help you if you are new or if you wanted to kind of start planning that for your unit. Okay, pass it off to TJ. Thanks.
Of course, all the information we're getting tonight is probably all coming clustered, but the point I want to touch upon is the benefit of a lot of from the troop side. A lot of them don't have having a feeder pack, a Cub Scout pack under the same number. And I want to make sure that the troops realize this and take them in regards to helping a Cub advance and reaching out to these. If you're not have a feeder pack, reach out to the other packs in your town, get involved in the Den Chief program, invite the crossover, the Arrow of Lights, more the what's needed for them to do the camp out with the troop and activities with the troop, but get them involved so that when they do cross over into the Boy Scout troop from Grove Light and the pack, that they're familiar of what the ideas of the troop and what the planning of the troop is expected, and to understand that you're becoming a Boy Scout, you're now taking on the responsibility of the advancement of yourself. So that's just what I want to touch. Anyone else
Thoughts from
in the room?
John? You would be Chris.
John, be quiet.
Now with everything that volunteers.
Yeah.
I'll just share our experiences and you can have a more tightly knit group of small and a lot of the leaders serve in both units, but we one of our key successes early and often provide opportunities for the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts to interact with one another in appropriate settings. That could be inviting Cub Scouts to Court of Arms. We have in recent years invited our AOLs to our annual December camping trip so that they can start to become friends with some of the scouts and tenderfoots and second class kids that will inevitably be some of their first mentors. They join the program. Certainly, if we haven't talked about it, you know, I think the new member coordinator has a role even for Cub Scouts transitioning Boy Scout. They are becoming new members of a new unit.
And Heather, our new member coordinator.
In the positions. Being a member coordinator, you can pretty much, from my shirt, I'm gonna do one, you wear jeans, everybody relax, you wanna sit there, you have a bright red shirt. It has a big, if you want a t-shirt wise, there's a big welcome there. I recommend washing it first, then put it on. It gets very itchy, or you can have a polo like these. And when you sit there, you have that uniform on, you're more relaxed, you're more calm, you're more mellow, especially when me and the family, I don't know how many years now as well. And the family look to you for a lot of things. They look to you for somebody in the uniform. They look for you as a relaxed person, so they're not too.
Just go ahead. You're doing great.
So they look to you as where you're you know, you're not sit there and be the whole uniform and they're like, yeah, are we supposed to have some right now? And so you're more relaxed person. You're, I know I keep saying that, you're more common to them. You're more welcoming, especially with a big blue logo. You can't miss logo on it. And it's the cheapest uniform you could possibly buy. And a hat I for each for the whole entire outfit. And I wear leggings, I wear jeans, the most comfortable uniform I could possibly wear. And from my experience of working with all the units that I work with and doing the recruitments, you know, coming to families when they first started the scouting program, I was able to make them more comfortable, I was able to more relaxed, more welcoming, and they've had good experiences and turnouts during the recruitments. Even going to different school systems with it on as well. They look more towards you versus everybody in the uniform where they're like, okay, what's going on here? One person I will say at one recruitment event I mentioned, but it was a cult because everybody was in uniform. And they red and they're like, all right, I'll go to that person instead. So definitely, you know, is the job you possibly have.
Right. Mary. And any insights with, you do a lot of work with the units that are have girls, and the girl troops. So any insights for the girls coming up from Cub Scouting into Scouts BSA?
I think the girls that are coming from Cub Scouts and Scouts BSA, I think part of the issue is we don't have a lot of female units, so it's growing that piece of opportunities. I can tell you though, all the units that we have playing try to work together to make sure that we can find good opportunities for them and offer solutions and, you know, hey, this place doesn't work for you, maybe this one will. We just have, the girls are having a really good time. They're having a great program. We're just hoping to see more girls come up through the program, just like everybody else. So they're having a great time.
And we have girl troops heading, and
Yep. We have girls for staff. We have girls hopefully taking it. You know.
right. Awesome. Anything else, Matt?
No,
Anything from anyone? Via Zoom?
Apologize, we know the audio wasn't great. We got a lot of dates from Greg from arts information, but I know it was difficult, so we'll do our best to kind of post some more details later.
Okay.
Okay.
Coming up, it's just a little, we're getting ready to close up for the evening, but I just wanted to update and apologize for being getting late because we had some connection issues. And it was kind of more like we talked at everybody tonight. I felt really uncomfortable here in this room because we weren't up and moving around and doing stuff and having fun. We'll change that. Alan, you've got a hand raised.
Yeah, sorry, I was just I was commenting on the girls and involvement and so on. PAC 94 just reached out to I think it's 5090 about getting some of the girls from that troop to come and be den chiefs to get that visibility in there, because we have a number of girls in our pack, and to try and get some of the ones that are on the sitting on the fence of whether they want to get into scouting or not. I think it would be helpful to see some of the girls and scouts being den chiefs.
What a great idea. I love it. Anybody else? For hands being raised. See anything? I think we're good. All right. Coming up in March, we're going to be talking about what it takes to be an experienced outdoor leader, why, and we're going to be talking at both love types of fact to see some fun stuff happening on your screen. And then thinking ahead to April, here, April will be a hybrid one. We will be in person and via Zoom. But here at Springfield at the North, there's a food challenge, and that's all I will say for now. So there's a challenge in April. Yes, you're what's okay. So, anybody have anything else this evening?
Ellie, just a reminder, when you finish closing, I'll play the FOS video that Ken White put together for anybody that wants to stay on and watch, and then I can leave it open for folks to visit for as long as they want.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go back to share this. And here is our closing for this evening. Is a scout with his ever ready service comes a Boy Scout brave and true, only trust to you. So Valentine's Day, everyone, and we will see you in March.
So here's the video that Ken put together.
During the next few minutes, we are going to discuss our annual Friends of Scouting campaign. New families and those with experience in scouting often have questions about FOS and how it impacts them. Friends of Scouting is one of the key ways that our local scouting program is funded. We rely on your support to ensure that here in Western Massachusetts, we have the resources that we need to carry out and grow the scouting program. We've already paid a registration fee. What is this money? Registration fees are important, and they go straight to the Boy Scouts of America National Service Center. They cover the program elements like handbook development, training materials, youth protection services, and volunteer background checks. What is the role of our local council, and why should I give money locally to the Western Massachusetts Council? Our council depends on the Friends of Scouting campaign as a major source of operating funds. Our council provides the necessary program and service framework for your unit to operate. Examples include adult leader training, necessary insurance coverage, the operation of your local camp, the Horace A. Moses Scout Reservation, advancement and membership resources and support, unit chartering support, social media and web presence, and full-time staff assistance for your leaders. It's kind of like an iceberg. There's a lot more under the water than many of us often realize. How much would I need to contribute? Begin by thinking about what it takes for our council to support Scouts. Just think, if you make a $200 pledge at the beginning of the year, you're paying $50 4 times during that year. Many employers match donations. It can be easy to double your donation to Scouting, no matter how you plan to give. And don't forget that your contribution is tax deductible. Units, Scouts, and families that actively participate in Friends of Scouting can achieve various benefits through our All In for Scouting program. These benefits include great savings on summer camp, council events, and trainings, as well as free camping and cabin rental at Moses Scout Reservation. Donating to Friends of Scouting is easy. Simply fill out the pledge card. This pledge card indicates the amount of your gift and gives you several options for making payments. You can also give online at www.wmascouting.org/FOS. Give the gift of scouting adventure with your Friends of Scouting pledge today.
Some skills I have gotten from the BSA is really leadership based and character development. It's made me a better person and a better leader to my fellow Scouts and to people around the world.
Leadership and friends and skills that you learn are so important, not only in your troops, but everyday life.
I think my biggest takeaway from Scouts is that when enough like-minded people come together, that they can pretty much plan and formulate anything to make any kind of event happen.
Thanks, Greg. See everybody next